Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Manitoba Start is the leading provider of career services to newcomers in the province of Manitoba and connects businesses to a world-class workforce. I would like to welcome you all to this Labor Market Connection webinar, a series of live broadcasted events designed to assist you in entering the Manitoba labor market. To begin, Manitoba Start operates from Treaty 1 territory, the traditional land of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Ojibwe, Dakota, and Dene people, and homeland of Métis people. We acknowledge that our water is sourced from Shoal Lake 41st Nation. Acknowledging this truth is important, yet only a small part in cultivating strong relationships with Indigenous communities. Today's webinar is focusing on the University of Winnipeg PACE program and University of Manitoba Extended Education. My name is Eda Can. I am Labor Market Connections Coordinator here at Manitoba Start, and I will be your host for today's webinar.
Bonjour tout le monde, je m'appelle Rabha Mazer et je travaille pour Manitoba Start en tant que traductrice en français et je serai ici pour vous aider avec toutes les questions que vous aurez. Bienvenue et merci.
Given the large number of participants who joined this webinar, we have muted your microphone to allow for better clarity and less interference. Before we begin, I will be going over a couple of housekeeping items. You can use the raised hand feature to indicate that you have a question or comment. To do this, you can click on the Participants button in the meeting controls, find the raised hand icon next to your name and click on it. This will notify us that we have a raised hand. Teams webinars provide a Q&A feature that allows attendees to ask questions specifically in the Q&A panel. To access this, click on the More Options, 3 dots button in the meeting controls and select Q&A. Then you can type your question in the Q&A panel. Before I introduce our presenters for today, I would like to run a few polls to get to know you better. So the first poll asks, are you registered with Manitoba Start? Yes or no? I will give you a moment to answer. There's 9 responses and 100% said yes. On our second poll for today, do you need help with resume, cover letter, or interview preparation? Yes or no? I'll give you a moment to answer. "56% said yes and 44% said no. Now we are moving on to our third poll. Where are you joining us from today? Northern Manitoba, Southern Manitoba, Winnipeg, outside of Canada? I'll give you a moment to answer. "100% said Winnipeg. And on our last poll today asks, what is your reason for attending this webinar? Are you an internationally educated professional, settlement worker, career coach, or other? Again, I will give you a moment to answer. 83% said internationally educated professional, 8% said settlement worker, and 13% said other. Thank you everyone for participating in the polls. Today we will start with University of Winnipeg PACE programs. So please welcome Rhonda McLean from University of Winnipeg. Over to you, Rhonda.
Great. Thank you so much, Ida. I will share my screen here and we'll get started right away. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Perfect. So I just wanted to take a quick moment to say thank you, Ida, for facilitating this today. Thank you to Manitoba Start for providing this platform for PACE to be able to connect with your potential clients. And clients. So welcome to PACE at the University of Winnipeg. We are really excited to connect with you guys today and just share a little bit of information about PACE, our programs, our offerings, and just some of those benefits for our students that are studying with us at PACE. So just a quick little agenda today in our webinar. I'm going to obviously introduce myself and my co-host, who is Frances. We will provide you with a brief overview of PACE programs. So we did minimize our formal presentation because we are sharing the stage today with our friends from U of M Extended Ed. And at the end, of course, we are going to be available for you guys to answer any questions you may have about studying at PACE. So just a little bit about myself. So my name is Rhonda. I am the Senior Recruitment Promotions and Coordinator of PACE and also work in the new business development area. I've been with PACE since about 2016. I am an alumni of one of our full-time programs, project management. So I really had a very positive and enriching experience as a student. And now I have the absolute privilege of being able to assist prospective students such as yourself, helping them find their path to PACE. So being a PACE student, I really understand the journey, the challenges, the rewards, connections, the lifelong friendships that are made in our classrooms that really make this experience invaluable. Frances, would you like to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you, Rhonda. My name is Francis Webb, and I'm PACE's Career Services Specialist. So I'm a member of the Student Services Support Team, and I'm going to be telling you today a little bit about what we do to support PACE students. Interestingly, I used to work at Manitoba Start. I had a couple of wonderful years there before coming over to PACE. So I'm really thrilled to be here today to be part of the presentation.
Great. Thank you so much, Francis. So welcome to the University of Winnipeg PACE. We are centrally and very conveniently located in the heart of downtown Winnipeg. So offering our students very convenient access to our downtown campus. This prime location really fosters connections with our local industries, obviously lots of restaurants, beautiful landmarks, parks, walkways, shopping, and much more. Our classes and services and amenities really provide an ideal setting for professional growth. Now, before I go to the next screen, I just want to apologize because I am a little under the weather and my throat and cough may announce themselves every once in a while. So I apologize in advance. So PACE offers full-time diploma programs that can range in length from 6 months, so an accelerated program, to 1 year, and to our 2-year programs. Our class sizes are small, so we really cap our programs between 15 to 36 students, which really helps to foster that kind of sense of community and family within our classrooms, with lots of support, obviously, from your peers, your program manager, academic advisors, and additional PACE support team. Everybody loves working at PACE. We actually have quite a number of alumni on our team now. So And our student body is a really great mix of both international and Canadian students, and can represent, and this has happened, we've had 34 different nationalities in our classroom at one time. We offer industry-aligned education that's really tailored to equip our students with those practical skills, knowledge that's required for today's competitive job market. With a focus on professional development and career advancement, PACE provides a range of programs in areas such as artificial intelligence, business, supply chain, project management, human resource management, IT, marketing, and more. So there's a list of our current full-time programs on the screen. Again, there's going to be some additional information. So if there's any programs of interest or multiple programs of interest, I would encourage you to view the program's homepage. There you're going to have some very detailed information about the program, such as the duration, the tuition and fees, the objectives and outcomes, career opportunities, and much more. Career, yes, I said that. Okay, awesome. Some success factors for our PACE grads. PACE grads are, really successful for a number of reasons. First of all, just like many of you guys here today, they're already coming to us with great education, great work experience. So they already have that kind of foundation laid down before they enter a PACE program. But we are also continually updating and enhancing our programs to meet industry needs, to stay innovative, to stay relevant, and to provide our grads with a competitive edge. Our instructors are specialists in their field, and they provide students with the latest trends, tools, practices in their industries. We also organize a number of networking opportunities and professional development events throughout your program to help you to start making those valuable connections here in the province. All of our programs are also aligned with local industries, and many include the possibility of becoming accredited in your field. So you could potentially earn your designation like CIM, Certified in Management designation, just to name one. As well, our programs are highly focused with real-world scenarios to prepare our graduates for the workforce, and many of our programs will offer you that hands-on internship at the end of your program. So why choose PACE? Like, we know there's many options out there, and there are great options for you to choose from. But some reasons that somebody might want to take a program at PACE is within our full-time programs, you have that opportunity to earn multiple credentials. So these next 3 slides, I'm going to use the same program just to kind of highlight that specific program and tell you a little bit about it. Multiple credentials in one program. So upon successful completion, students will have the ability, I've selected in this program, our full-time digital marketing management diploma. So students have the opportunity to earn a marketing management diploma. Now, if you've already earned a degree, obviously that's going to be a post-degree diploma. Digital and social media marketing certificate, as well as a management certificate. So you get those 3 credentials built into one program with one tuition fee. We also offer memberships to professional associations. So this is, a great way to build your professional connections is by taking advantage of these memberships and industry chapters while you're a student. So you can get involved as a student rep, you can attend industry networking events, and just really make, a great first impression when your program's complete. So again, I've selected the Digital Marketing Management program. Within this program, there are 3 memberships available to students: our International Association of Business Communicators, the Canadian Agri-Food Marketing Alliance, and our Chartered Managers of Canada, CIM. For consistency, we're going to use the same program, but we also offer great pathways to professional designation. So there are going to be additional steps required. Information about how to earn your CIM will be provided to you while you're a student in the program. Most of our designating partners will come down to PACE to present those opportunities for you, as well as information will be found on that program homepage. And so this specific program offers a certified in management designation. Some of our other designations will be CPHR, you can potentially earn your PMI, and much more. Again, more information on our website. Just a very quick glance at what our program requirements are. So now, as you are here in Canada, that minimum requirement drops down to a minimum of a high school or mature status diploma. So that would be the minimum requirement, as well as providing proof of English language proficiency and work experience. Now, that being said, with our full-time programs, they can be competitive. Obviously, the students are coming in with those degrees and multiple years of work experience are obviously going to receive a letter of admission and would be considered, you know, an asset to one of our programs. Yeah, so your proof of English language proficiency, if you studied outside of Canada, we do have waivers and exemptions depending on where those studies are. And work experience could be anywhere from 1 year to 3 years. So again, it's going to depend on the specific program. If you're coming in without a degree, some of that work experience is going to change. So a program like our human resource management, with a degree, you would only need 1 year of work experience. Without, it would be 3. Application process is done completely online. Our programs applications will open up about 1 year before our program starts. We do have established deadline dates, but programs can close if they have reached capacities. Students, once you successfully submit your application, providing all of the required documents, and we do encourage you to have all your documents ready. If you need to have transcripts translated, please do so. Proof of graduation, just either your high school diploma or a copy of your highest level of education completed, a current resume, proof of language proficiency if required, and a $50 application fee. Once you submit your online application, like I mentioned, it could take up to 3 weeks for us to process and provide you with a decision. So if you are looking at a program that's starting, let's just say in fall, you know, we really encourage early application. You want to get that process started and you want to be able to get your letter of acceptance so you can start planning your next year or two, whatever that looks like. So PACE really offers a student life program. So it's a series of both fun and professional development events and activities just to really help create a well-rounded student's life experience, which goes beyond the classroom. This student life program really helps students to integrate into the diverse Canadian culture. It helps build students' professional network through meeting with industry professionals. You get to gain real life experience through working on volunteer committees. And students also have that opportunity to establish with, you know, alumni in a mentorship capacity. Some but not all of our student life activities can include a meet and greet event at the beginning of your program. So you get to connect with all of the other students who are studying at PACE with you at the same time and within different programs. Our award-winning cultural night, which is just coming up. It's our absolute favorite event of the entire year. We're really proud of it. And it's typically held at the Winnipeg the Art Gallery, which is actually just a neighbor of ours. And it's anybody who has any talents in song, dance, storytelling, whatever it is, you can perform. We really encourage our attendees to come dressed in traditional attires. And it's just a lovely event. We have what we refer to as an employment services event, you know, where you can connect with industry professionals in your field and get some face-to-face feedback on, you know, resumes, cover letters. I think also Francis is part of that. We have CEO conversation circles, association presentations, alumni presentations. Alumni loves to give back to PACE. So, you know, they're always there first, kind of sharing their experiences, sharing their journey at PACE and where they are now and their success stories at PACE. So kind of being a full-time student, I'm not going to go into super depth about this, but all of our full-time programs will have predetermined schedules. So if you're a PACE student, 1 month before your program starts, you're going to be given your schedule. And it's like, this is what my life is going to look like for the next 6 months, 12 months, or 24 months. So it's really good for planning and budgeting and all of that kind of thing. But mostly each day is just dedicated to one specific course. So if you're studying something like project management fundamentals, you'll be studying that for the entire day. You will be in from about 3 to 5 courses at a time. So it's a little bit more of a heavier a course load. In total, about 30 hours of course work a week. Our programs are designed within, kind of built within that Monday to Friday. However, we do have a lot of scheduled study days in between. So on an average, you can be studying 2.5 days to 4 days a week. Classes are typically scheduled between 9 and 4, but every once in a while, we'll have a program that's running a little bit, a course that's scheduled a little bit later. Within those 1-year programs, you also get about 4 weeks off, kind of spread throughout your program. We also incorporate a few online courses just to give our students some flexibility, latitude in their days, and just to be able to stay at home and study in your PJs if that's your thing, or maybe you're going to a coffee shop just to kind of get a break from that classroom. And the number of online courses is going to vary between each program. So PACE does offer a very comprehensive, very detailed, and also very fun orientation week. So it's, you know, a great way to connect with your fellow classmates, start learning about them, learning where they're from, learn about our instructors, our advisors. You can brush up on some writing and math prep and skills, just to get ready for that whole year or two of study. All of our orientation, so no matter what program you're in, it's going to include a writing prep, an exam prep, study skills, a team building activity, which is so fun, diversity awareness session, a math prep, and our new session on the ethical use of AI in academics. So it's a really great way to start your program. It really lays that foundation down, really sets our students up for success. As we have students coming from every part of the globe, there's going to be different standards and practices. So this way we kind of get everybody on the same level playing field before their program starts. And we have dedicated student support specialists who will be your first point of contact. So they offer lots of support to you in terms of any mental health issues, personal challenges, any academic performance or challenges. We can provide referrals to often on or off campus supports. But they're just also an excellent source of support and coaching and mentoring. If you are new here to Canada and you're starting your life all over again, we understand finances can definitely be tough. And especially right now, I think everybody's feeling it. So definitely tap into any financial opportunities or supports available. Residents of Manitoba are entitled to apply for Manitoba student aid. They do fund a lot of our students, so we would, encourage you to connect with them. So there are bursaries through Manitoba Skills and Development Services. As newcomers, you would definitely qualify and meet the criteria that they are looking for. And the University of Winnipeg also has a few options available to you. I'm just being mindful of the time here, so I'm just going to pick up the pace. Who's an ideal student of PACE? They're often mature, bringing their own perspective to the programs. They've already, completed a degree or two. They're typically mid-30s, have professional work experience definitely connected to their program. They've done their research, they have financial plans in place or are seeking financial funding. We also, I'm going to just shift gears here quickly again. We do have some part-time certificate and diplomas and programs. So these are a little bit more flexible than our full-time. They're not as rigorous. You get to kind of work at your part-time program at your own pace. They're designed around like a full-time working professional. So most of our programs or most of the courses are delivered asynchronous, meaning there's no time to ever be online at any given time. You work on your assignments within the parameters of the schedule. You'll still have established deadline dates and whatnot, but you don't ever have to be online. And then we have our blended format where once a week you pop into a Zoom and you have your live class. Again, those program requirements very minimal for part-time. High school diploma is the minimum requirement, as well as that language proficiency. There's no work experience required in our part-time programs, and it's not a competitive program because we have multiple students studying with us at their own pace. So it's not as like our full-time concentrated programs. So as long as you're meeting those minimum requirements, you will get a letter of acceptance. And studying at PACE, we have kind of two options. You can just take a course or two without officially enrolling into the program. So, if you're not sure what you want to take, kind of like a course from our digital marketing, you are also kind of interested in human resource management, definitely you can take a course or two without officially applying to the program. You just register and pay as you go. So there's no full-time payment required up front. You pay for each course as you move along the program. But if you're serious about a program and you want to graduate with those credentials, you definitely need to apply to that program, lock in your intent, lock in your graduation requirements. Again, all of this is done on our online application system. Kind of whipped through this. I will also I'm always available for one-on-one Zoom meetings. Our information will be shared at the end of this presentation. I'm going to pass it over to my friend Francis, who's going to talk a little bit about the sports he's offering.
All right, thank you, Rhonda. So I'm going to talk to you about the supports available to PACE students and University of Winnipeg students. The really nice thing about coming to PACE is you have access to a variety of supports that we offer in-house, as well as the full range of supports for students that are available from the University of Winnipeg. So the next slide shows a few. This is just a handful, by no means an exhaustive list of University of Winnipeg student services supports that are available to students. And I was going to highlight just a couple of them that you might be a bit more interested in. For example, accessibility services, or formerly known as accessibility services in the Deaf and Hard of Hearing Services Department, facilitate and promote ongoing development of accessible learning environments within the university. And in doing so, they provide students with disabilities, with mental health concerns, medical conditions, and even temporary injuries, the opportunity to fully participate in in all aspects of campus life. If you can skip ahead a couple of slides, Rhonda, to International Immigrant and Refugee Student Services. They support students who are newcomers, and they provide information and direct support, as well as planning activities and events for University of Winnipeg newcomer students. PACE offers a lot of these services in-house as well, but the really nice thing is PACE students then get 2 tiers of support when it comes to immigration information and services. But I'll focus mainly on what we do at PACE specifically. So on the next slide, you can see a snippet of what our student support team look like. And PACE is a small department of a small university, and we like to think that allows us to provide an unparalleled level of direct student support. We work very closely with our students. We're a very tight-knit group. Our student services team is made up of 6 people. We have 2 full-time academic advisors, as well as an immigration advisor who also provides a little academic support. We have a student life and engagement coordinator, an internship coordinator, and then myself, the career services specialist. Together, we directly support the full student journey, so not just in being academically successful, but we also want our students to be socially and professionally integrated into life in Manitoba. So Rhonda already touched on what our academic specialists do, but our immigration advisor is a very, very knowledgeable guy called Depeng. He is an expert in immigration information and provides that information and immigration options to all PACE students. Whenever there's a change in policy at the federal or provincial level, he is responsible for getting that information to students as quickly as possible and help students navigate any immigration challenges they might face. The academic advisors are students' best friends right from day one. They're at the orientation session, building long-term relationships with students, and they're available for all kinds of different academic supports, including access to additional tutoring services, like our writing success services. So those are detailed on the next slide. And we have a lady called Hannah, who is an instructor at PACE. She's kind of a tertiary member of the student support teams. And this is just an example of one of the specific academic services we provide. So Hannah will help with all the things you see on the screen in terms of supporting our students' writing. She's an instructor as she teaches Writing for Academic Success course, which is a course in all PACE programs. So we're not talking about student mentorship or tutoring here. This is a professional writing teacher who is available to help our students one-on-one with their writing success. The next member of the team is our student life, and it's actually student life and alumni engagement coordinator. I missed a word from her title, but her name is Nikki. She is probably the most knowledgeable person about PACE students. If I need to know anything about a specific student, I go to Nikki because she met and knows every single student at PACE. She orients all students and takes every single group of PACE students on a campus tour. She arranges a lot of those social events that Rhonda mentioned earlier, as well as a lot of career development events, which she and I work closely together on. Next up is our internship coordinator. Her name is Gina. She's another PACE alumna, just like Rhonda, and she's been here for a long time, and she facilitates the internships for eligible programs, bringing PACE students together with local employers for very valuable local Manitoban work experience. She tracks internship progress and provides support to students throughout that internship journey and helps students navigate any issues they face during those internships. Finally, we come to career services. And again, there's 2 tiers of support here because PACE students have access to main campus's career services. They do a lot of career planning and job search support. They're mostly focused on undergraduate students, but they plan and execute our annual University of Winnipeg Career Fair, which is coming up next week, as well as a series of webinars and other online events. PACE Career Services, that's me. I help students mostly with resume development and interview preparation and building local labor market connections. So I connect students with industry professionals and provide a wide variety of supports that cross 4 pillars of student support. So on the next slide, you can see a few of those pillars. So I provide monthly career development webinars for students, and those are open to all PACE students at any time. When students groups approach graduation, I meet with them more closely and invite them to attend a series of advanced career development workshops so that they're really ready for the job search as the end of their program approaches. During that time, they're available to book one-on-one appointments with me as well, where we can fine-tune the resume or prepare for specific interviews. And I also bring in partners to present to our students from organizations like Manitoba Start on a variety of career development and career development adjacent topics throughout the year. Students connect with me largely through an intranet portal, so it's closed and very secure. And through the portal, they can contact me with questions throughout their journey. They can register for upcoming events, book appointments with me, or browse our extensive collection of career development resources. But the really great thing about career services at PACE is we have no end date on career services support. So even after graduation, students are free to come back to me for support as long as they need it, whether that's a week later, a month later, or even a year later. I've worked with students who have either delayed their job search due to personal reasons, or perhaps they've been working for a year or two and are now ready to take that next step and go for a higher level position. PACE students are always considered part of the PACE family and can come back and see me for help with that at any time. That's about it. Back to Rhonda. Thank you guys so much.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Francis. And thank you, everybody. I'm sorry I might have gone over a little bit of the time, but if you need to connect with Francis or myself, our information is there. And to find out what current and some of our PACE alumni are up to, you can follow us on Instagram. Thank you, guys. I will end the show and pass it on over to our next presenters.
Thank you so much, Rhonda and Francis. It was a really great presentation. Now we will continue with the University of Manitoba Extended Education. So please welcome Amanda and Michelle from University of Manitoba. Over to you, Michelle.
Thanks, Etta. Let me just share my screen really quickly here. Oh, wrong one. Sorry. Let me try that again. There we go. Hopefully everyone can see my screen now. All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's good. Okay, thank you, good. All right, well, thank you, everyone. And thanks, Rhonda and Francis, for the great presentation. We're really excited to be here and talk to all of you. So thank you for spending time with us today to hear about our programs at University of Manitoba Extended Education. I'm Michelle Rummel. I'm the Manager of Student Services within Extended Education, and I'll let my colleague introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Amanda Chan, and I'm the Enrollment Coordinator with Extended Education.
All right, so just a little brief overview about our programs, or about our division. So we're the division within the University of Manitoba that provides both non-degree, non-credit programming options, and also pathways to degree studies. And also we have an area that does provide supports to students who are in degree studies already. So we have a lot of options, whether you're looking to build on a degree that you already have and add some professional certifications, or looking to get into a degree for the first time and need some help on your path to get into a degree program. So lots of options through extended education at U of M. Our agenda for today, we're going to talk about the different paths and explore options for professional development programs and courses, or how to prepare for degree studies. We'll talk about the admission requirements and our fees. A little brief overview of our student aid options for you. Then we'll talk about our full-time programs, and then give a bit of information about general studies and the access program, and then we'll open it up for some questions and answers at the end. So hand over to Amanda.
Thanks, Michelle. So here you can see a listing of our current business, finance, and management programs. These are online, flexible, part-time programs. So none of them are completed on a full-time basis. These are all online courses. They're non-synchronous, and they do not require students to attend live sessions at any specific time. So our courses are provided through our online learning management system, which is called Learn. And students have 24-hour access to this system throughout the duration of their course. Students are expected to meet specific deadlines as stated in the course outlines to avoid any academic penalty, loss, or failure of marks. So this includes weekly reviews, assignments, quizzes, projects, all of that will be done online. So even though it is a self-directed program and you can commit your coursework based on your personal and professional studies, you must meet specific deadlines in order to be successful. So all of these programs can be completed within a 1 to 6 year time frame. With the exception of the certificate in management, you are allowed up to 7 years to complete that program. This is a current listing of our social innovation programs. So the Applied Counseling Certificate program, I will mention, is done a little differently. There are some synchronous sessions involved, some in-classroom training involved. However, if you live outside the city or you can't make it to campus for whatever reason, there are accommodations we can make so that you can fully complete the program online. As well as with the letter of accomplishment in media literacy. There are certain synchronous sessions that you would need to attend, but again, it's a fully online program. So we have the certificate in program development for adult learners, the letter of accomplishment in media literacy, and then the micro certificate for facilitating older adult learning available. And last but not least, the complete list of our part-time program. These are our process and technology management programs, certificate in quality management, micro certificate in artificial intelligence, and certificate in building information modeling management. Again, all done part-time, all non-synchronous, and all online. So I'm just going to go over some of the admission requirements and fees. So there is a $100 application fee that is required with your program application. You are not required to apply to the program to take a course. You're more than welcome to just register for a course or two. You could actually complete all the courses if you like and then apply to the program at the end. So there's no pressure to formally apply to the program until you're ready to declare graduation. All of that is done online. The cost per course, it ranges. It's about $275 to $800 per course, and it will just vary with each program. And the programs are designed for Canadian citizens and individuals with permanent resident status in Canada. If you are a PR, you will need to provide an English language proficiency test score, but there are, again, waiver requirements that if you meet, you are not required to provide that test score. And the minimum education requirement we are looking for is completed high school or a mature student status of 21 years of age. There are certain flexible programs that are open to international learners, program development for adult learners, quality management, the artificial intelligence program, our BIM program, and our micro certificate for facilitating older adult learning. Those can all be completed overseas, online for international learners. And that is an option for anyone. If you have at home that is looking to complete a program with the U of M, they can definitely do that online at home.
Just a bit briefly, student aid, most of our programs, both part-time and full-time, are eligible for Manitoba student aid. So the application process is a little different. If you're part-time, they're still doing old school paper style applications. You fill that out, you bring it to our office, we fill out the university component of the form, and you send it back to Manitoba Student Aid. If it's a full-time program, it's all done online and is a bit more of a modern process. But both, whether you're part-time or full-time, we're here to support you in your student aid application process. There are a few programs that may not be eligible. If that's the case, let us know. And we're always willing to look into adding those to our eligibility list of programs.
Thanks, Michelle. This is a listing of our current full-time programs. So we have three full-time programs at the moment: Applied Business Management, Applied Business Analysis, and Applied Human Resource Management. This program is actually open to international students and non-international students. It's an intensive program package that is delivered over 1 year. The program consists of 10 months of intensive classroom study, and then there's a 2-month work placement component at the end. So you'll get to meet with our work placement coordinator. She will help you with your resume, help you find an interview somewhere within the city to get some Canadian workplace experience. And that's all part of the program package. So the application fee for this program is a little different. It's $300. And then the seat deposit is $10,750. It's non-refundable unless, if somebody is applying as an international student and there's a visa refusal, obviously we will definitely refund that deposit for you. But in total, the cost for the program is about $17,500. That's including your deposit. You might have some extra textbook costs and some health insurance fees, but for the majority of the program, that's the total cost that you're looking at. And we have 3 intakes a year. So there's the September, May, and January intake. Currently at the moment, we are looking to take applications to our September intake. So if you know anyone that's interested, we would be happy to meet with them virtually or one-on-one to give more information. But these are considered our current full-time programs. So general studies is a bit of a different department within extended education. So you would take University of Manitoba degree credit courses without applying to a faculty or school. So this allows you to take credit courses from various faculties in school on a course-by-course basis. It's a really great option for those working and aspiring professionals and students who are working on getting into a faculty or a school but don't meet the entrance requirements yet. There's also the option for visiting students from other institutions and senior students. So you can see they're kind of separated in 4 different categories. You have special students, so those that are looking to take courses for professional development and personal learning. Auditing students, for anyone that wants to take courses for personal interest. Visiting students are those who are enrolled at another institution but want to get some credit at U of M. And then senior students are those 65 and older who are Canadian citizens or permanent residents. They will not pay application or tuition fees. We have 2 really wonderful general studies advisors that you can meet with at any time, and they can go over options for you and just let you know what would be the best path for you to continue your studies or begin your studies at the U of M.
Next, I'll talk about the Access program, which is another special and unique area within extended education. The Access program is not a program that delivers courses per se. It's for students who are admitted to an undergraduate degree, but maybe need a little bit of extra help, extra support. This is typically students who are Indigenous or newcomers. So those are the majority of students who are admitted to Access. You apply separately to the Access program once you're admitted to the university, and then they provide a wealth of additional supports to help you get through university if you need it. So they have small class sizes, extra tutoring, counselors, lots of activities. It's really to support students who are maybe new to the university environment, new to the city, new to the country, to get through their program with all the extra supports that they might need. And then students can take as much or as little of the supports as they feel they need. And there's no cost for students to be admitted. They just have to apply and be accepted into the program. But it is a really great program, and it's a very unique and special option for newcomer students through the University of Manitoba. Okay, and that's all we have for you today, but we're open to take any of your questions, and you can also feel free to reach out to us if you have anything that you think of later. You can contact us through the eprograms@umanitoba.ca email address. So I'll stop sharing and hand it back to, I think, to Etta for the Q&A.
Thank you so much, Frances, Rhonda, Amanda, and Michelle for these informative presentations. Now we will open it up to the audience. Do we have any questions? Again, please type your questions in the question panel box or in the chat box, or raise your hand and we will unmute you so you can ask your question. We welcome both English and French questions, and we will try to get through as many as time permits.
Alors, est-ce que nous avons des questions? Encore une fois, veuillez taper vos questions sur le panneau de questions-réponses ou lever la main et nous réactiverons votre micro pour poser votre question. Nous essaierons d'en traiter autant que le temps le permettra.
So we have a question in the Q&A panel and people are asking, what exams do you accept for language proficiency and what is the minimum score that you accept for your programs?
So I'll jump in first and maybe hand it over to Rhonda for UWs. The most common would be IELTS. I would say that that's the most common option historically anyway. New to the U of M is Duolingo. So off the top of my head, Duolingo is very new. I think it's 120 is our score that we require. For IELTS, it's 6.5 with no component less than 6.0. And I saw someone asked about if they're new PR, would we accept their language score they use for their permanent resident application? Unfortunately, generally it's a no, because for the PR application, you're usually using IELTS General. It must be the academic test. So unfortunately, generally what you've used for your PR application is not acceptable for academic purposes. But we have a long list of tests. I would just say IELTS or Duolingo would be the most common. And not to give Duolingo a shout out, but they are the least expensive and easiest to schedule if you're looking for an option that's a little bit easier on the pocketbook and your schedule as well. Rhonda.
Well, thanks, Michelle. I think we're kind of on the same page there. Duolingo, yes, our minimum is 120. And then there's 4 components that vary: 100 in production, 125 literacy, 110 conversation, 130 comprehension. This is on our website. IELTS academic, same thing, 6.5 overall, minimum of 6.0 in all the other categories. We also, TOEFL, we have a few pathway programs such as Heartland and ILAC. Now, the one question about the PR using the general IELTS, I always say submit your application with that general. We've kind of modified a little bit. We can be a little bit flexible, but they're going to take a look at your total application package, see the type of work experience that you have, the country also that you're originating from, and go from there. So yeah, that's it for us.
Thank you so much. And you were talking about you need work experience for some of the PACE programs. Does the work experience for PACE have to be Canadian?
No, not at all. So that's one thing. International students bring such amazing work experience with them. And employers highly value that work experience. So it does not have to be from Canada. And that's one thing I will say about our programs is having all of that international experience in your classes. You're also learning different practices, standards, new ideas from everyone that you're studying alongside. So it's a very enriching learning experience.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. And one of our attendees is asking, which documents are accepted as proof of previous work experience?
I'm sorry, which two? I missed the first part, Ida.
Which documents are accepted as proof?
For PACE, an updated current resume or CV. It's typically what we require for your work experience. Michelle? I don't know if that's a component of your admission process. Sorry.
Yes, sorry. Our full-time programs, we do require proof of work experience. So yeah, typically a resume, and in some cases we might ask for reference letters as well from employers. And again, not Canadian. Very few of them have Canadian experience. It typically is overseas experience.
Thank you. And Jean de Dieu, I'm going to unmute you so you can ask your question. You will be self-muted. Please unmute yourself.
Yes, I will ask my question in French.
Of course.
Yeah.
OK.
Sorry, that interrupt. Oui, Jean
J'ai deux
Désiré.
questions. Oui, j'ai deux questions. La première, je voulais juste avoir une confirmation pour savoir au cas où on commence un programme, comme c'est à temps plein, ça veut dire qu'on quitte le monde du travail. Ça veut dire qu'on se retire un peu du monde professionnel pour se concentrer aux études.
OK.
Et la deuxième question serait celle de savoir, est-ce qu'il y a des opportunités de financement? Comment est-ce qu'on pourrait être en train de financer les études?
OK. Alors, ça c'est, si j'ai bien compris, ça c'est comme une question.
Rava,
Oui? Est-ce
we
que...
need the English translation.
Oh yeah, bien, yeah, of course. I'm just like confirming with the, like if I fully understood his idea. If you don't
Okay.
mind.
I'm so sorry then.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
sorry.
that's okay. Alors, Jean de Dieu, est-ce que tu veux dire que pour quelqu'un qui était en train de, comme, qui a travaillé ou bien qui a un travail et il va commencer un programme en plein temps, euh, comme est-ce qu'il y a des aides financières pour financer ses études? Est-ce que c'est bien ça?
Oui, c'est deux questions différentes. Donc, la première, c'est de savoir, par exemple, je peux être en train de travailler aujourd'hui
Mhm.
et je voulais aussi étudier et compléter un diplôme. Ça veut dire que je dois quitter le travail, je dois démissionner.
Oui.
Ou bien il y a une possibilité de continuer à travailler et étudier au même moment. C'est ça la question. Et la
Ok.
deuxième question, c'est de savoir si, il y a aussi des opportunités de financement ou bien je dois financer moi-même mes études.
Okay. Yeah. So, Jean de Dieu has two questions. The first one is like for a person who has who is working full time, is there any possibility to study or to take a full-time program? And the second question, are there any like financial aids to help this person to finance or to pay for his fees?
I can start. At PACE, our full-time programs are delivered in person on campus. And they're typically held in the daytime. So in that kind of working person's Monday to Friday schedule. So depending on the specific course, probably not work full-time unless they're working in the evening or the weekends or evenings, or I said evenings, but our programs, because they are very comprehensive and intensive, we don't encourage you to work full-time while you're studying on a full-time basis. We do have a new human resource program that's a 6 month, so it's a very it's accelerated program, so shorter time frame. So that would allow somebody to perhaps maybe work in the evenings or outside of that Monday to Friday daytime program. The financial aids options, I think both U of M and U of Winnipeg both have the same types. You have an option for Manitoba Student Aid, Manitoba Skills and Development, or their own in-house funding and scholarship options. That's where our part-time programs allow students to work full-time. So the lists are on both, I think, presentations.
Yes, and I would concur with everything Ron said. Our full-time programs it's not ideal to work full-time. Most students do have part-time jobs while they're doing the full-time study, but a full-time job would be very challenging. The part-time programs, however, are ideal for full-time working staff. And actually, a lot of our programs are done in partnership with some corporate partners. So if you work for Hydro or Liquor and Lotteries or a couple of our other partners, they actually do a lot of support for their staff to take the part-time program. So they're ideal for working professionals.
Okay, thank you. Alors, Jean de Dieu, oui. Alors,
Oui, je
si
crois
la
que j'ai
personne...
bien saisi. J'ai bien
Oh bien.
saisi ces besoins de... Yeah,
Ok, et
de
bien...
traduire, oui.
ok, d'accord. Oui, très bien.
Merci.
Oh, je vous en prie.
Thank you so much. And we are almost at the end of our time, but we have more questions. If I have more questions in my email, can I contact you or can the attendees contact you directly?
Absolutely. Please feel free. Reach out anytime.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for all the participants for your excellent questions. If you are not currently a Manitoba Start client, you can call our front desk, visit in person, or complete our online registration form that is on our website under For Newcomers tab, Register for Services. By registering with Manitoba Start, you will connect with settlement services and have access to career services that can assist you with resume development, career planning, job search strategies, and interview skills. And for a list of programs and services offered by career services, go under the career services tab. As you can see, we offer many workshops and many resources here. And lastly, please take a look at our events page. You can see our current events or upcoming events from the events page. And if you miss a webinar that you're interested, you can always watch them from webinar recordings.
Et si vous souhaitez être connecté à la communauté francophone, pour obtenir du soutien à l'établissement ou à l'emploi, veuillez contacter EDA. J'espère que vous avez trouvé cela utile. Au revoir.
Don't forget that Manitoba Start is here to assist you by providing services such as personalized career coaching, developing your resume, or job search assistance to help you find sustainable employment. Please follow us on social media to stay up to date on our latest events. So on behalf of Rhonda and Francis from University of Winnipeg and Michelle and Amanda from University of Manitoba and the Manitoba Start team, thank you for attending and stay well.
Thanks for having us. Take care, everyone. Thank you.
Everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.